All
All right,
right.
baby, whenever you're ready.
So my name is Taylor Love, and this is my compassion components presentation. And so this is just a little disclaimer. This presentation is not to make anyone uncomfortable. It is just to shed light on the lack of compassion we are seeing in the world right now. It does focus on race, and it deals with a few things I've been struggling to express in my everyday life because I don't have a vast platform like most celebrities to talk about this kind of stuff and change people's minds. And maybe this isn't the right place to do it, but I'm hoping to be showed a little bit of sympathy. So our challenge word was compassion. And compassion is a hard thing to follow because it's just a matter of opinion. And so when I went to do my research, I kept that in mind. Because it is heavy in the opinion parlor, I wanted to get the science behind what makes a person want to be compassionate to another person. And turns out it's just the same reason people feel love towards one another. And so when I did my interviews, I asked people two very important questions. What is compassion to you? And should you show compassion to everyone? Why or why not? And one of my favorite golden quotes was being extremely invested in something due to emotion. And that is one of the best answers I got, which summed up all the other answers to the first question. Because a lot of people were just saying compassion is showing love to other people and showing that you care and being there for them. But for the second question, I got a lot of answers like no, people are crazy and they'll take advantage of your kindness, and or because not everyone deserves or needs compassion, and that there are psychopaths that can't be trusted. And because many more people don't believe in showing compassion, empathy, or even sympathy, we get problems like this. Their names were George Floyd, Ahmaud Arbery, and Breonna Taylor. If you remember nothing else from this presentation, I hope you remember these names. Two of these lives were taken by police officers, George and Breonna, and one was taken by civilians who had no right to murder him, Ahmaud. A police officer had his knee in George's neck for 8 minutes straight as he stressed to the officer that he couldn't breathe. Ahmaud was hunted in broad daylight on his regular jog when two white men, a son and a father, thought he didn't belong and proceeded to shoot him at point blank range with a shotgun. Breonna Taylor was shot 8 times in her own home because the police were searching for a suspect that was already in custody. They hadn't announced their presence and were perceived as a threat to the boyfriend who began to shoot as he had the right to do in his own home. And the response ended in this young woman's death. This is what's happening in our world because we have a lot of people who don't even know how to show compassion to a group of people they don't relate to. And that's my problem. Stereotypes and assumptions keep people from showing compassion to one another. And I challenge people to think, how might I help people show compassion for other situations despite their previous assumptions or stereotypes? And so my solution is the Empathy Project. The Empathy Project is something I went through with Coach Shattuck, and it helped me open my eyes to the struggles of different groups of people. And just a little rundown in case you don't know what it is, it's walking in another's shoes for a few weeks, learning about difficulties in another's life. I found it very helpful with changing my perception towards homeless people. And so, how I would make this happen, I would get the idea pitched to more school boards, like get it taught in more schools, and get teachers who are willing to learn and teach the material. And I think this would help by teaching kids about social groups outside of their own, teaching how to interact and empathize with people they may not have previously known how, and shows the hidden struggles some people go through every day. If kids learn compassion at a young age, maybe we wouldn't have to remember the names of George, Ahmad, and Brianna. You teach kids to reach adults. Thank you very much.